Before the start of the season, ESPN mocked Atlanta at fourth in the East, lofty expectations that would have scored the Hawks' home court advantage in their first-round battle. Unfortunately, not only have the Hawks faced undue adversity, but three teams have shockingly leapfrogged everyone else in the standings. The Detroit Pistons lead these three at the top of their conference in the midst of a 13-game win streak, on the back of their all-star guard Cade Cunningham. The Pistons have an improved roster top to bottom, with a significant coaching upgrade to boot. There's few things they're doing wrong, and it's clear that they're here to stay. The Miami Heat will always be a competitive roster with Eric Spoelstra at the helm, but they've taken the next step this year, with an incredibly creative and fast-paced offense suiting their roster perfectly. Frighteningly, they only just got Tyler Herro back from injury last game. Miami, sitting at second in the East, is looking like a legitimate contender once again. Finally, the biggest surprise of all, the third-seeded Toronto Raptors. While many experts around the league saw them as lottery contenders for the Dybansa, Peterson, Boozer jackpots, Darko Rajakovic had different ideas. Their lengthy, versatile squad is making many contenders, including Atlanta and Cleveland, look silly. With these surprises flanking the existing powerhouses in Cleveland, New York, and albeit underperforming but unequivocally talented Orlando, the odds that Atlanta will secure a top seed are seemingly dwindling. Will getting Trae back be enough to move the needle for Atlanta? The Hawks, of course, have a not-so-secret weapon that is just waiting to ignite the rest of Atlanta's already competitive roster. The question is, will it be enough to make up the difference that will inevitably grow larger and larger each game Trae misses? While Trae's absence has no doubt made the Hawks' offense sluggish and prone to stagnating in clutch situations, that's not the entire picture of having the star on the floor. The team's defense has improved noticeably since Trae went down in early November. Turns out, having an all-defensive guard fill the majority of Trae's minutes isn't so bad, at least on one end of the floor. Young is simply such a polarizing presence, both on and off the hardwood. While his elite offensive creation can take the squad to new heights in the half-court, the fact that he's a defensive liability can be extremely difficult to look past when analyzing the Hawks' win tally at the end of the year. Will getting Trae back help Atlanta's playoff push? No doubt. But it may not be enough to leapfrog the three surprise teams and the three established juggernauts out east when it's all said and done. The road to a deep playoff run is looking scary, but not impossible. The Miami Heat are at home on Saturday night as they host the Detroit Pistons in an Eastern Conference showdown. Miami enters Saturday's game with a 13-6 record after defeating the Milwaukee Bucks at home on Wednesday night. In Wednesday's victory over the Bucks, Tyler Herro led the way for the Heat as he recorded 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists, while Bam Adebayo added 17 points and 11 rebounds of his own. Now Miami will try to grab another victory on Saturday night in a tough home matchup against the Pistons. On the other side, Detroit enters Saturday's contest with a 15-4 record after losing at home to the Orlando Magic on Friday night. Cade Cunningham led the way for the Pistons in Friday's loss as he ended the game with 39 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists, while Tobias Harris recorded 18 points and 5 rebounds. While both teams are looking to pick up a victory in Saturday night's matchup, both squads may be without multiple key players due to injuries. Pistons injury report. Will Jalen Duren, Caris LeVert play? For the Pistons, they have 4 players listed on their injury report for Saturday's game, including Jalen Duren. Detroit has ruled out Duren due to a lower left leg contusion that he suffered in Friday's loss to the Magic. With Duren sidelined, Isaiah Stewart and Paul Reed will likely both have increased roles against the Heat. The Pistons have also ruled out Bobby Klintman and Marcus Sasser as they continue to be sidelined due to injuries, while Caris LeVert is listed as questionable due to a knee injury. Heat injury report. Will Andrew Wiggins, Norman Powell play? On the other side, the Heat have 3 players listed on their injury report, including both Andrew Wiggins and Norman Powell. Miami has listed Wiggins as probable due to a left hip flexor strain, and he is expected to play after returning from a 3-game absence in Wednesday's victory over the Bucks. The Heat have also listed Powell as probable due to a left groin strain, and he is expected to play, and he will likely have a large role for Miami. Jamie Jaquez Jr. has been listed as questionable due to a right groin strain, though he was able to play through the injury against the Bucks on Wednesday night. If Jaquez Jr. is sidelined on Saturday, it would be a major blow to the Heat as he has had a great start to the season, and Simone Fontecchio could be in line for a larger role. Fans can catch Saturday night's matchup between the Pistons and Heat from Miami at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Otherworldly play from Luka Doncic, the emergence of Austin Reeves as a legitimate superstar in the league, and the return of LeBron James to the court after a bout of sciatica have propelled the Los Angeles Lakers to a 12-4 start, good enough for the second-best record in the Western Conference. Perhaps that is why it is interesting that the front office is still monitoring Andrew Wiggins' situation in Miami, per Jake Fisher of the Stein Line. The 30-year-old forward is averaging 16.7 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 2.8 assists per game, and is shooting 48.1% from the paint and 36.5% from beyond the arc for the Heat in 2025, but continues to be at the heart of trade speculation. While adding Wiggins to a lineup that includes Doncic, Reeves, James, and DeAndre Ayton is intriguing, the team should resist making such a trade. Team chemistry is too important for the Lakers' long-term success this season to be making changes of that magnitude. James recently rejoined the team, which already toyed with the chemistry that Doncic and Reeves had established as the 1-2 punch of the offense. Finding ways to maximize what the future Hall of Famer and potential greatest of all time brings to the table at this point in his career, while being mindful of load management and not letting games get away from them in the process, is of the utmost importance. The last thing they can afford is to trade some of the expiring contracts on the roster, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Jackson Hayes, for Wiggins and risk disrupting chemistry or momentum. Especially considering the 4-game lead the seemingly unbeatable Oklahoma City Thunder already has on the rest of the Western Conference. Sticking with what they have and potentially trading one of those contracts as a package to bring in a role player or two by the deadline is a better move, especially as the team undoubtedly looks for depth later in the year. Wiggins is a strong player who can benefit a contender. The Lakers, as they navigate chemistry, should not be it.